What up, guys? I am Hamlik, and today we are going to be talking about CT pistol round, right? I'm going to kind of use an excerpt from our game 3 of this last season to kind of illustrate the thought processes and ideas behind it and rotation thoughts, right? Hopefully it jogs your guys' CSGO young minds and helps you guys out for your team in your upcoming season or your current season or whatever you're doing. So yeah, before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of content, and yeah, let's get it. What up, guys? So I have a little excerpt here from our third game of the season against Team Impotent, and we are going over everything about the season. So we're going to talk about CT pistol setups and pistol round, right? In my opinion, there's on CT side, there's multiple ways to approach this. But the two major ways to approach pistol rounds is you either have some sort of aggression somewhere for early info, or you play passive and play off the info that the T side gives you. So if you look at this round from us here, this is the third game of the season, I believe. So you can kind of see what we got going on here. So right here we're playing an aggressive we're kind of doing a mix, right? We're playing info towards A, right? Myself and Papa, we're just listening for rushes towards A. Dante's listening for mid, right? And then you got Oreos and Aya-chan in the middle here. I mean, on B site, and Aya-chan's going to be a little aggressive. Right, he's gonna drop a molly flash and try to catch someone's hiding behind the molly, right? That's the whole idea here. So let's go to Aya-chan's perspective. All right, so he's lining up a flash, right? So him and Oreos can get aggression towards the ramp area. Okay, so if we look at this area here, right, he's lining up for the flash, he's playing for the rush over here, he's gonna flash and peek lower. Okay, so we're gonna see how this plays out over here, right? And obviously if you look at the other side of the map, we're just playing passively for info. We're listening for ramp, right, because we can hear it from here, right? We're looking for the rush up here. I'm playing safely behind the box at a headshot angle towards ramp, and Papa's playing the headshot box looking towards side hall here on A, right? So that's our setup, right? And you got Dante in mid just listening. If he hears anything, his job is to fall off, play an angle, and get picked, right? That's the job. So let's go and see how this plays out. Okay, so he throws the pop flash, but he hears them running, so he's gonna fall off, right? We had an aggressive play set up, right? But they're straight up rushing us, right? And he bought a flash molly, right? And we have a kit and smoke on Papa on A site, right? And the reason why we had this set up is because a lot of teams on pistol round tend to go B. So we were just doing a basic aggression setup towards B, maybe get an early pick if they're trying to play it slow. And if they're rushing it, we're in position to stall them for the rotate. All right. So when you're creating these setups, you got to really think about how rounds play out and how you want your team to react and be set up in that way, right? So like you see here, in the event that they are rushing B ramp, Dante falls to heaven, right? And they're still set up to fight these guys if they need to. Okay, so let's see how this plays out. So here's him coming. So now he drops the molly for the stall, right? And now they're both ready to fight. Do you see how 3 of their T side players are cut off from the rest of them? And we can isolate 2v1s on site here. Okay, so one was able to cross to quad. Okay. So, and Dante's heaven, right? So now we're in a good spot. We have a good crossfire. They're stalled out. All 4 players are still stuck at the T ramp, right? I'll prove it here by showing you on the map here. All 4 players are stuck towards the ramp. We dropped a molly here. One snuck through. Dante playing heaven. Oreo's playing a generator. And AHM playing close wall here. So it's a 3-man crossfire on anything that comes this way. Right? There's no negotiation there for the B rush, right? We're in good spots for a rush, right? And then obviously when they rush B, I rotated to mid. That's my job. I'm picking up anything flanking Dante. And Papa's still spotting A. Right? So they smoke generator, right? Okay. So now it's plan B, right? Play around the smokes, get picks. We still have a guy heaven that can look for people, right? So now we're just letting them cross. We have the man advantage, right? We're not worried at all at this point. So we know 2 have crossed, right? Dante unfortunately got picked off there, but that's all right. We're still in okay spots here. So now it's time to re-aggress, right? Now we're gonna push them, right? Smoke on site's starting to fade. We're gonna push them. We have our late guy mid to pick up anything late, right, to help fight us. And we're 3 guys here ready to go. Okay. So we get 1. Chan dies to the guy pushing the smoke. We have a guy heaven coming behind him right now that can take him out. So we'll see what happens there, right? So let's go to Oreo's perspective. Right? Like, push it. Right? So he looks around and gets the trade. Okay? I got the initial entry onto site, so I'm wide right now, right? If you look at where I'm at. Right? Come here. Right? So now I'm taking this fight here. Okay? So pretty much, let's just rewind here and talk about the setup. Okay, so we came here. We have an aggressive play towards ramp. We have a passive spot mid, and we have a passive spot A. Right? So in the event that they rush B, we are set up to handle it, right? He falls off mid, plays heaven. I rotate over, pick up mid. He sits here in spots A. Right? In the event that they full commit and are crossing site, Papa comes, picks up mid. I rotate over to help. We have a 4-man fight here. They smoke generator, which blocked our initial setup vision for their execute, which is fine. We just waited out the site smoke that they threw, and then we executed accordingly. Right? We executed the retake. Right? So in the event if they rushed A, right, we spot, we fight them when they're coming up, right? If they decide all in here, Dante can rotate back over, right? Oreos can sit heaven or go CT and watch the flank, right? And we are in a strong setup towards A, right? So, but the basis of the strat, right, is to be set up to handle anything happening B, right? So keep that in mind when you're coming up with your pistol round strats. Okay, so I got goosed, right? So I'm going to be backed up and playing a little bit more passive now, right? But my teammates who are higher HP are going to be more aggressive, right? So let's switch perspective here. So we know the bomb is planted. We know where the last 2 guys are at, right? We're just going to take fights. The Papa gets 1. I'm playing the headshot behind the site, right? We can take a peek here. I'm playing, well, I guess I moved up a little bit more aggressive here, right? So we're both playing the smoke. We know where the bomb is. Papa has the kit. We know where the last guy is ramp. We're just going to 3-man fight him. Call it a day because this guy should be trying to play the bomb, but it's kind of hard in a 3v1. You have to try to isolate fights. So I don't necessarily blame him for what he's doing, but Papa ends up taking him out, go and defuse the bomb. We have the kit. Easy round win. That's pistol, right? So the biggest thing I wanted to like iterate here is when you're coming up with your CT pistol round strats, you could either be full passive or have some aggression somewhere, or have a ton of aggression somewhere, right? But you have to be prepared as a team for different things that'll happen in that setup, right? Like obviously for a B rush, we were well prepared for what would happen in the event of a actual B rush, right? So if they rush B, we're here to handle it. If they come up through A ramp, we're here to get some picks, right? Fighting this direction and this direction, right? And then we have a quick rotate from mid, right? To help fight this direction, right? But in the event that they went B, which is what we were set up for, which is what we were kind of hoping they would do, right? We have the early flash to stall him. We have the molly to stall him. One leaked through. He got killed. It's a 5v4, right? They re-execute onto site with all 4 guys. We have a nice crossfire set up. They smoked off generator, right? We waited for this smoke that they threw to fade, and then we re-aggressed here, right? This guy snuck through, but Ryan swung around and got the trade, right? And if he didn't get the trade, we had our last guy Heaven to pick him off if we needed to, right? Regress, took the site, got the bomb, done, right? Make sure you guys have some sort of plan going into the pistol round to make sure that you are prepared for the things that can happen, right? And just make sure that the plan is stout, right? You want to be kind of prepared for whatever it is. Like obviously this is a more B heavy setup where we're betting on them going B, which we happen to be right. But say they rush A, it's going to be tougher fights from sight in here, right? Well, they're not necessarily tough fights, but they're, you know, it's a headshot versus a headshot angle, and then a wide swing versus the headshot angle. So this is a favorable fight, but this is kind of 50-50. Right, and then you have to rely on the quick rotate to get there, right, and everybody else to rotate properly. But we were set up. Our plan was they're going B. We're going to stop it, right? And that's what we were prepared for, and that's what we did, and we executed it. So make sure you guys, when you're coming up with your CT pistol round strats, to really think about the overall picture of what you want to accomplish in that setup, right? And then have a backup plan if they do the opposite, right? I've been Hamlik. If you enjoyed this episode of Building the Ultimate Team, you missed any episodes, you can check the previous episode out down here below, straight below me. And then at the bottom left of the screen, I will have the game linked against or game 3 of the season of us versus Team Impetu, so you guys can see how that plays out as well. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, and we'll catch you next time.